Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this Warcraft Rumble Arthas event guide, I'm going to show you the easiest way to beat the Pit of Saron in Mythic difficulty. The Pit of Saron Mythic, all enemies gain 4 levels, Gish awaits you in true form, your minis are subject to Soul Shatter, while Frosted any damage below 20% health will kill them instantly. Arthas also applies poison with his Winter Storms and at health thresholds, of which there is only one by the way at 50%. Anyway, Pit of Saron Mythic is the most frustrating experience I've ever had in Warcraft Rumble because the mechanics in this fight are absolutely brutal. First of all, there are the Winter Storms. The first Winter Storm is going to start after 30 seconds, and after that, every 49 seconds, there's going to be a new Winter Storm. So Winter Storms spawn at 300, 211, 122, 033, and in overtime at 044. And they have 3 possible routes. They can take any of the 3 lanes, and the route is always chosen randomly. Yes, it can repeat the same route over and over again. It can go, well, it can go anywhere. There's no visual indication of the route that's being chosen. You can only see once it reaches a crossroads, okay, does it take a turn or does it go straight? And that's the only way to know. So it's going to take a long time from the storm spawning until you actually know which route it's going to take. When a Winter Storm hits your minis, they stun your minis for 6 seconds, and when your minis are freed from that stun, they explode for 40 damage on a radius of 4. Also, Winter Storms are going to apply 1 stack of poison every 0.25 seconds, and it takes a little bit over 4 seconds for them to go over a mini. So if there's just a mini on the path of Winter Storm, then it's going to take 288 poison damage while Storm passes over it, and then there's still going to be all those poison stacks sticking in for 928 poison damage overall just from a single pass through of a Winter Storm. Because your minis are also stunned, so they cannot heal. Not that you can do a whole lot about that poison. There are 2 ways in this game to remove poison at the moment. One is Greater Heal from Priestess, and the other one is Tyrion's Heal. But when they're stunned, they can't heal. And if those Winter Storms and their random routes are not enough, there's also a real brutal phase change at 50% health. There is no phase change indicator, but it's basically a phase change because Arthas is going to wake up Gish. He's going to spawn a bonus Winter Storm, so this is outside of the regular loop. So also if you get the phase change together with a regular Winter Storm, yeah, there's going to be 2. Then Arthas is going to apply 3 stacks of poison on all your minis throughout the map and then explode them. So every mini that you have on the map is going to take around 300 damage just by being there, and more if it's close to other minis. Arthas also cleanses any poison from himself and gains a 90% damage shield for 5 seconds. And the fight ultimately ends when Arthas reaches 10% health. The combination of these Winter Storms, the explosion, and Gish coming at you together make it nigh impossible to have a troop-based solution for Arthas. But this is the best that I have found, and I think this is by far the most reliable comp that you can use for this one. It's based on Ysera, it's based on Ysera minis, and also I really love the talent that has the map-wide sleep for this one, because sleep does affect Gish, because somehow the Gish is not really a boss. Gargoyle doesn't attack it, and sleep affects it, execute hits it, so sleeping the Gish is really good. So the strategy is to start by getting gold with the miner. So you want to mine as much gold as possible and leave as little for Arthas as possible. You can take the left tower with Chimera and a Priestess. Chimera plus Priestess is enough. Priestess will heal Chimera enough to take the tower. You can also use the Earth Elemental to help. Earth Elemental with the Taunt talent here, so that it's going to help you redirect damage to elsewhere than your Chimeras. Then you're going to defend with the Chimeras and with Ysera minis, although Chimeras are also needed to attack Arthas. And when you manage to dodge some Winter Storms and get to Arthas, then Earth Elemental is going to taunt Arthas, so that your Chimeras will be able to get damage in properly. And then they're going to be able to push Arthas down to 50%. And then after the phase change, you have access to sleep. Try to hold sleep for the phase change, so that you will be able to sleep minis, preferably when Arthas spawns some minis. Then you can sleep all of those. You can sleep Gish as well and the Gargoyles. And then Arthas hopefully spawns some more during the sleep, and you will be able to polymorph all of those, and then you will be able to living bomb them, and then boom, Arthas is just going to die. Obviously, sometimes Arthas just does not spawn enough minis, which is kind of the problem with all of these living bomb based strategies, but this one with the global sleep gives you the most time, which means that you have the best possibility to get through, because this gives you the most time against Gish. This gives you the most time for Arthas to spawn minis, and therefore the most time to get the damage in. And this is what it all looks like in action. So here we go, Mythic Pit of Saron with Ysera. So here, obviously you're going to get a new hand every time you start. You really want a hand like this, where you can get the miner and you can get the cobalt miner, so you can mine all of that gold. They don't have to be the first minis. They have to be among the first minis. So you want those two, and then you want the Chimera, and then you want the Priestess, and the order of those four is kind of irrelevant. You can play the Chimera a little bit earlier, just play it far back. So there's a few ways that you can go about this. Here I'm actually using a living bomb to defend, which is probably not the greatest of moves, but in this build I don't have access to Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor typically is like one of the key minis that helps you defend. I also don't really know what happened with that tower attack. That went really, really poorly. Well, I mean, sometimes it does. No worries though. The first storm luckily does not go left. If it goes left, then you're typically in a lot of trouble. 1 in 3 wolves are going to be in a lot of trouble at that point, because if it goes left, then you're going to lose that original Chimera. It's not impossible to recover from that, but you really have to keep an eye on the winter storms and where they're going, and then decide what to do from there. There I'm trying to go and get some mining done. I'm trying to get the Chimera to defend against that push. My base took a little bit more damage than usual. I would have often been able to cycle to whelps here. Cycle to the drake here. Well, be that as it may, things go a little bit differently at times. Here I'm trying to use polymorph to kill that abomination and hopefully save the Chimera from the storm. And I managed to do that because there was the direction switch, and I was able to send Chimera out of the storm's way. Remember, every storm is completely random. There's no pattern. There's nothing you can do to predict them. You just have to try to see where they're going and respond. And probably you will lose some pushes because of that. So yeah, that's just how it goes. This isn't a perfect pull by any means either, but it's going to do well enough, I think. Here I'm trying to use the Earth Elemental. That was actually a waste. I should have just called that, okay, those Chimeras are lost. I wasted the Earth Elemental. I was hoping that the Chimeras would have enough time to start hitting Arthas, while the Earth Elemental is going to taunt it away from them. But that was not going to happen. That was a bit of folly. But anyway, let's continue. Should have maybe I should have polymorphed the abomination there and saved my priestess. So as you can see, there's room for some error as well. But the main thing is that you need to get enough attacks in so that you will be able to get that Arthas. Alright, now we have the Earth Elemental taunting Arthas, and the Chimeras are dealing damage. And did I really miss it again? Yeah, now I'm in a bit of a negative loop here. I keep timing my things so that then there's going to be a winter storm, and I fail my timings a little bit because of that. But I'm trying to break through it. Let's see. Oh, here we go. I've also now been saving this hibernation, because my plan was to use this hibernation when I get the phase change. But obviously now that's looking a little bit bleak. Yeah, but we should be fine. I decided to use a living bomb there. And that gets me a phase. And now I'm just waiting a little bit. Please summon something, Arthas. I'm sending an Earth Elemental to Kite Gish if necessary. This time it wasn't. Arthas played a little bit more stuff. Okay, I need to cycle back to the living bomb. And I do. And boom, and that's going to be it. Often I would get the phase change with the Chimeras too, but this time it went a little bit different because I had some difficulties. But as you can see, like, you can win in the long term or you can win a little bit faster. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.